Good morning. Guess what day it is? It's April 9th. There are a couple of things going on today. It's National Cherish an Antique Day. It's also National Pimento Cheese Day. So I'm going to give you some information from an article by Robert Moss about pimento cheese. He tells in the article that pimento cheese is usually considered a southern food, and yet it had its start up north in New York. According to Robert, almost any pimento cheese recipe today calls for grated cheese or similarly firm cheese mix with diced pimentos, peppers, mayonnaise, and any number of seasonings and special ingredients. Many cooks are quite adamant that you use homemade mayonnaise, while others start with fresh red peppers and roast them themselves. The original version started out as something quite different: the marriage of cream cheese and canned pimentos, two popular and newly available products of the industrial food trade. Though produced primarily in New York, cream cheese somehow became linked with the city of Philadelphia, and the New York-based Phoenix Cheese became the market leader with its Philadelphia brand cream cheese. Around the same time, sweet red peppers imported from Spain first became available in the Americas. In 1887 edition of Miss Parloe's Kitchen Companion, she noted that these peppers, when green, were much milder than the common bell pepper. Although they looked similar, she recommended stuffing and baking them. Within a decade, the imported Spanish peppers were being canned and sold by large food manufacturers, which boosted their popularity. So their name came from Spanish, and we called it pimentos. So in the late 1800s, pimento cheese became popular, but it wasn't quite like ours today. As I've told you, it was cream cheese and pimentos, and you were to get the two different items and mix them together to make your sandwich. Well, it wasn't long before the cheese manufacturers decided to save you some trouble, and they started combining the ingredients. And then by 1910, there was a commercially made pimento cheese. In March of 1910, grocers in Minnesota were advertising pimento cheese something new. And by the April papers in North Dakota, they were running ads offering pimento cheese something new in a jar for 20 cents. So within a year, pimento cheese was available as far west as Oregon and Albuquerque, New Mexico. After World War II, the popularity of pimento cheese began to wane, and brands like Blue Hill and Clover Hill disappeared from grocery store shelves. But somewhere along the line, Southern cooks took what originated as the industrial food product and started creating their own recipes and making it from scratch. In the process, turning it into something truly delicious that is associated very closely with the South. In any event, replacing the cream cheese with hoop cheese and later other store-bought firm cheeses like cheddar seemed to have been an essential step in creating today's Southern icon. Grated cheese needs something to bind it together, and mayonnaise fits the bill. From there, any number of other enhancements from onions and mustard to lemon juice and jalapenos have been added to change the flavors. For the rest of the 20th century, pimento cheese sort of lingered in the background of Southern dining as a common but unheralded spread, showing up in sandwiches at family reunions and funerals and any other sort of gathering where there was home cooking. You know, when you talk about pimento cheese, it does make me think of almost every family gathering I've ever been at. Gatherings for fellowship at churches, at family, to celebrate birthdays, weddings, or even funerals. Usually pimento cheese shows up. It's a convenient hospitality food. You know, the Bible talks about us being hospitable to others. In fact, in Hebrews 13:2, the Bible says, "Do not forget to entertain strangers, for by so doing some have entertained angels without knowing it." How about that? If you entertain people who you don't even know, they may be angels. Romans 12:13 says, "Contribute to the needs of the saints and seek to show hospitality." 1 Peter 4:9 says, "Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling." Wow, without grumbling. Titus 1:8 says, "Rather he must be hospitable, one who loves what is good, who is self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined." In Genesis 18 is a story of Abraham. He had strangers come by and he entertained them and he fed them, and they turned out to be angels. Luke 10, the story of the Good Samaritan, demonstrates how important it is to be hospitable to strangers. In 1 Timothy 3:2, Paul considers hospitality a necessary mark of godliness. So today, get out the pimento cheese and make some yummy sandwiches. And don't forget to share with someone. Who knows? Maybe they'll be an angel.